welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with your hosts, Daniel.
And Daniel.
And today featuring special guests,
Dammit Dom.
And
GameheadGeek.
Joining us today on our top 20 through 11 of our top 100 games of all time. Stop laughing at me, GameheadGeek. Just because we had to redo that intro. It's fine. This is our podcast. We're going into it. Not 3 times. What are you talking about? Only twice max.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We got another recording today, too, as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. So far, only 2.
Alrighty, so like he said, we're doing 20 through 11. This is going to happen in the normal cycle. The 10 through 1, you get a special bonus episode in February that will land this Friday for our podcast listeners.
Cool. Sounds good. And of course, if you haven't been listening already, we already did, as a group, numbers 50 through 21 so far, and we're going to be doing our 51 through 100 as separate groups later on. Yeah. As kind of like a little backup
and intermittent, it's going to go throughout the seasons and stuff like that. We'll have it all up by mid to end of March.
Exactly. So, you gentlemen ready?
Yep. Let's do this.
And of course, viewers in the chat, as always, feel free to voice your opinions on who's right, who's wrong on their good games. I'm going to flip the coin of doom. Let's find out who begins. GameheadGeek.
All right. So, my number 20 is a great worker placement game, and it is Viking themed, and it is a tile laying game too. It is Feast for Odin.
Oh, wow.
This game I have been wanting to play for the longest time. Once we got it played, I played it a couple times solo. It is a fantastic game. I love trying to figure out that puzzle aspect of putting everything out and then opening up those positions, depending on how many people are playing for your workers and everything like that. So it is a little bit of a long game. I think these ones coming up are going to be my longer games, but that is number 20, Feast for Odin.
All right, moving on to my number 20. It is new to the list. It is not a new game. I've gotten more plays of it. I finally got a copy of it for myself. It is turning into one of my favorite games just to bust out if I want to do something really fun. And this is Istanbul, a nice Kinderspiel winner. I love the unique mechanism on it. That you're just... It's kind of pick up and deliver, but it's more you're picking up and delivering your people for them to trigger effects. So it's kind of interesting how that goes. I love the modular setup, and for me, it's a classic for a reason. It's a fantastic game, Istanbul.
Yeah, that's a good choice, too.
All right, my number 20 is brand new to the list. Brand new. It's a deck building game. It's one that Daniel really likes, and I was very surprised that it came in this high, but it did, and that is Mistborn, the deck building game.
Is it? Oh,
yes,
no.
it is.
We just played it like 3 weeks ago.
Yep, that's...
We played it in November.
Well, the rest this year's been going 3 weeks ago, and you know that's true.
So no,
this is definitely one I need to play because you guys keep talking about it, and I've read the first book and a half, so...
Yeah, and the books are exactly what got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact the way they did it with the different metals and them integrated with the cards, to me it was like perfect. So it really did really well for me, and it was one I had to go hunt down as soon as after I played it. I knew I'd like it, and I was like, it's okay, I'll get it when it... And then played it and was like, nope, gotta go get that one.
Yeah, you were enamored with it.
Oh, no. It's a fantastic game. In fact, it was my number 47, so it was on my top 100 as well. So,
and I wonder how many crossovers we're going to end up having over this next 20 games. We'll see. But I'm going to be starting off. This is now my highest ranking Phil Walker Harding game. This is my favorite of his. I didn't think it was originally. I thought it was Imhotep, but apparently this is Baron Park. Was number 6 on my list previously and 8 on my list before that. Dropping down to number 20 just because I hadn't played it all last year. So, the time shows, stuff that's fresher in my mind, I tend to like even more.
All right, GameheadGeek, we're on to your 19.
My 19 is, and I think this is a crossover I think this was on Daniel's last time we recorded.
I hear my
Mine
name so
is
rarely.
Planet Unknown.
Yes, it was on my last one.
Okay, yeah. See, it's just one of those, again, a great tile laying game. I love the lazy Susan on that and how
That is the best component.
It really is. I mean, it's just all around a great game, and I finally got my Ultimate Edition or the Collector's Edition that they just came out with. So
Yeah, same.
I'm really excited about that, especially to try out like those bigger planets where you piece them together and stuff. That looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it looks really neat. I also like it's a track system. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Another Dammit Dom game.
Yeah, that is a tried and true Dammit Dom.
That is. Because as soon as that happened, I was this close from going out and buying it before Dom's like, oh, hey, by the way, they're also doing a Game Found. And I was like, well, that's it.
I already picked it up because it was on a deal from Game Nerds. I think it was one of the games that they had on a Nerds Day. And I'm like, I'll just get what I need on the thing. And it worked out for him because he owns it now, too.
Right. And I've played it since then.
So, all right. So my number 19 has been on the list all 3 times that we've done this. It was 22 the first time, jumped up to 5, and it's kind of falling out of the top. Well, it fell out of the top 10, and it's just because one, it's the time constraints on this game. It can go a long time, but one of my favorite memories of board gaming is in this game, and that is terraforming Mars. I still really enjoy this game a lot. I love the fact that the cards are so different. And then the fact that everybody can do whatever they want and still have a chance of winning. Especially with the expansion, the Preludes expansions, how it gives you a variable setup. I really love that aspect. I love the fact that you can... Advanced players, they can play one way, and if you're teaching new players to play against advanced players, you set them up to be more successful by making them play like basic corporations, and they don't have to worry about buying their cards to begin with. So I love that aspect of it. It is just... It's a long game, but like I said, one of my favorite memories of this game is when you and me just kind of looked at each other and just were doing once we clicked what we were doing, we realized, okay, this is how it's going to go, and we brute forced the game to make it go quickly. Once Dammit Dom figured it out, he's like, oh god, I gotta hustle in here. So yeah, I love this game, Terraforming Mars.
All right.
Go ahead.
Nothing?
All right, my number 19 is actually my highest Stonemaier game. And it came in, it's a lot, it came in a lot lower on the list than I thought it was going to, and that is Scythe. I figured this would have been much further up the list, but just the way the things fell this time, Scythe, only been to the table once in the last year. Still like my play of it, but... Sure. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it gets to the table a lot in a year, and sometimes it doesn't. And just the hybrid nature of the game is really what does it for me. You know, the fact that you can just go out and, depending on which faction you're playing, you play differently. You collect resources. One, you go to combat. Things like that. It's what really does it for me. And so, that is Scythe, my number 19.
I like Scythe a lot. My thing is, if I get more plays of Expeditions, I think it might get replaced, or might replace Scythe, just because it plays quicker.
All right. And we have one of our listeners had a good question about how many of our games are pre-2020 on our top 20. Most of mine are pre-2020.
A lot of mine are pre-2020, actually.
I am very much... In fact, now that I think about it, I think maybe only a handful are post-2020. So let's take a look at that. My number 19 is definitely before 2020. In fact, this has a second edition before 2020 even. And this has one of the best app implementations for games I've ever played, although it's no longer available on the App Store. This is Onirim. Or as GameheadGeek likes to describe it as his favorite poop app. You know, because you can play a game in like 5 minutes.
It really is the easiest poop game, though.
It really is, right? Onirim is amazing. It's a solitaire by design game. It streamlines all of the shuffling into the app and stuff, so you don't have to do it. Although the 7 different modules, this is the only game where I've ever played all of the different modules for it. So I absolutely like all of them. They add interesting things to it. Great components. I like the art. It's just kind of this dark, weird, dreamy art that's not quite creepy, but not quite comfortable, you know. I like it a lot. Onirim, this is my highest ranked solo game on my list.
I do like Onirim a lot. And GameheadGeek is right. It's a good pooping game.
I'm not gonna lie. I have still yet to play a physical copy of this. As soon as I got the digital copy, it was taken off my wish list, and I always played it because then I was just like,
the solo game is so much better. The physical game because of the modules that he was saying. I played the first 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And what they do are ridiculously good.
Yeah.
yeah, but you can get the modules.
You can get the
for
first 3, and you can't get them anymore because the app is no longer in stores.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but the fact of having to always shuffle, like, it's just nice that the app does it for you.
Oh, that's not
That's
that
That's the
bad.
only thing.
Yeah, it's not like a deck builder, right? You know, like anytime that you go searching for the cards, like when you finally get the 3, yeah, you have to shuffle then. But that's, a handful of times, 8 times if you're playing with a base. So it's not too bad, but it's not as bad as a deck builder is, but still, yeah, I mean, it's worth it. And there's big size cards, so it's good.
So my number 18, and this and one other game, or actually probably 3 games, are probably some of my lower times to play, but because they're so short, like, it's just an all night of playing that kind of game. This one is Quicks. I've played this quite a bit, and I've even upgraded my dice from the standard like D6 to a D12, 1 through 6 on there twice, so the dice roll easier. But I mean, this is something that I can play with any of my family members, whether it be my wife's side or my side, and like we'll have friends come over and we've already got some gaming done, but people are like, oh, let's just play something really quick and easy. I can pull this out easily enough and just play a couple rounds and be done. So,
Is this your highest ranked rolling rate? Or is that spoiler?
no, this is my highest ranked rolling right.
Interesting.
All right, my number 18 is new to the list, but it's been one that's been out and just got a new shinier reprint, sort of. But I really do like it because of multi-use cards. And it is a game that I've been wanting to play, but the aftermarket prices for this out-of-print game were ridiculous. So I'm glad Queen brought this game back. It is a lovely, lovely Feld game. And I believe it is my second highest Feld game on this list. Spoiler alert. And this is Hamburg. I'm a sucker for multi-use card games. I adore this game. Every time it came up on the Pub Meeple, I was like, no, I want to play that some more. And it's just that multi-use cards, that mechanism, for some reason lately, it's just been really clicking with me. I've been really enjoying it. Didn't make my list in the top 100, but another one that I fell in love with was Cafe Barras from Kid Table Board Games.
Sure.
And I love everything what this does. I want to try it with the modules that are in with the game as well. So Hamburg, my number 18.
All right, that's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 18 is another game based off a book series that I really like. And is one of the first games that I actually got when I got onto Kickstarter.
Is this one that I think GameheadGeek already talked about?
I believe he did talk about it a little bit.
Same author of the...
No. This is not that.
Oh.
This
no.
This is,
oh, no.
This is a different one.
Can I guess?
Yes, go ahead.
Is this the Harry Dresden?
Yes, it's the Dresden Files.
Dresden Files, yep.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
The cooperative card game, yep. So it is a fun game. You're just trying to solve the case that you have in front of you, because Harry Dresden is a wizard and a PI, and he's trying to solve the case. And so that's what you do. You get one of the 7 or 8 characters that regularly appear in the books, and you play through. You only get a single hand of cards, so it makes hand management a huge thing, because you don't get to draw up unless something special allows you to. And you've got to solve the case before you run out of time, basically, is what it comes down to. If you've read the Dresden Files, it's exactly what it happens in the all the books. So, now that is my number 18, the Dresden Files cooperative card game.
So I do have a question for you on this one. did they come out with anything else? Because I think when that came out, they were still like 4 books away from where they're at now, right?
So, it's like 4 or 5. So they came out with a Cold Days pack, basically. There's
Okay.
two character packs that came out of that.
Okay.
Just not to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read them yet. But
okay.
How's it
I wasn't
though?
sure because like I had this and I think I ended up selling it because you own it, and it was good. It just I didn't feel like I needed to own it anymore since you had it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
My number 18. This one is probably one of the highest space games on here. What happens when you simplify TI4? You get this game, which is hugely underrated.
Did we just do a podcast episode about this one?
No.
Okay, it's a different
No,
one.
you're thinking the other. You're
Okay.
thinking Tiny Epic Galaxies. I'm talking Eminent Domain, which has no right being as underrated as it is.
We
That
did
game is
suggest this in
awesome.
that podcast.
Yeah, no, Eminent Domain is just so smart how it works. It's almost deck building, but you can follow in the actions. You choose one of the cards to pop into your hand, which gives you all sorts of different abilities. And then anybody else or if you play that action, anybody else can follow by playing cards from their hand to also take the action off turn. It's so cool how it works, but then every card that you're taking adds to your deck, you shuffle them up, and your deck building the actions. It's wild how... Have you played this one yet?
Yes.
Way back in the day, right?
I played it a couple years ago, New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
With Jim.
Yeah. Oh, man. I just adore this game.
No, it's a fantastic.
So
game.
good. Eminent Domain needs to come back out, like, from somebody who can do it justice with
Yeah,
more
because it was
expansion.
originally
Tasty Minstrel
Tasty
back
Minstrel,
in the day,
yeah.
yeah. But, oh my goodness. I can't tell you how much I enjoy it. Number 18. I won't listen to any other ones. It was previously number 25 and then 41 before that, so it's been steadily climbing. And I actually haven't played it all last year, and it's still climbing.
All right, moving on to GameheadGeek's number 17.
So, that's what it is. Okay. My number 17 is Potion Explosion. This is something that I have played quite a bit. I've even 3D printed a whole new, so I didn't have the cardboard deal anymore because I tried buying another 6-player expansion just so I could have the plastic drop insert for the plastic piece for the marbles and stuff. But I love Potion Explosion. And I like now that with that other expansion, the 6-player, like you can switch out the teachers and stuff, and they do different things. Don't play it at 6 people because that is not fun. I will say that right now. But other than that, I mean, it's something that everybody knows how to do, especially because they're all the phone games that did it, and then they just kind of turned it into like an analog version of people doing it. And it's just a lot of fun to get some of those deals and have like a whole handful of marbles. And you mess somebody else's turn up and you drop all the stuff that you didn't need. Like, I needed that marble. And you took all the black. So.
Awesome.
That is my number 17, Potion Explosion.
Yeah, I'll have to look at my statistics, but it wasn't even on my top 100 last time we did this because I was just looking about it, and I don't know where it landed, honestly. I haven't played it in ages.
See, this still gets played anytime I go visit my brother. This is one of the games that gets pulled out. This and Splendor are like 2 of the favorite games that he likes playing. So,
okay. So my number 17, both times we did this were in the top 10, and it now has fallen out. It got as high as 5, dropped to 9, and now it is 17. It is a Western in a box. It is a sandbox game. One of my favorite sandbox games. Not that there's many. And this is Western Legends. And it's along the lines of, like, I love everything about this game, and it's a fantastic game. It just doesn't get played all that often because it can be a longer game. It can, it sometimes has a lot of stuff going on in it that you have to pay attention to. But I do like the fact that I can play, be a poker shark and still have a chance to win the game. Or I could be a cattle rustler and break the law and go rob the bank and still have a chance of winning the game. And it makes those really fun stories that we like in board games, but just by the gameplay aspect of it as well. I did really thoroughly enjoy it. I have everything for it. In fact, I am waiting for Western Legends Stories to come out because I did back that Kickstarter as well. So, but it's just a bit long, and I just don't get it to the table as often. So that's why I still say it's one of my favorite games of all time. But I think I can see it still free falling just because it doesn't get played.
Right. You have to plan accordingly to play that game. Yeah.
And so that was 17 Western's Legends.
This was a crossover, wasn't it? Wasn't this on Dom's?
It was on mine. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was. So, my number 17 is a card game that is the first in 3 games. As Danny likes to say, makes a nice mural.
Really? No kidding. This is this high.
Yes.
Wow.
I knew he liked this game.
I didn't know it was top 20.
Yeah, top 20. Century, and this one is Golem Edition.
Oh,
but
wow.
I have both of them.
Wow.
I do have both. So it doesn't really matter which one you put there. Century Spice Road or Century Golem Edition. Golem just happens to get played more because my mom tends to like whimsical stuff a little more. So, yeah, we usually play a lot of Century Golem, and it's one we just pull out, play, don't have to explain the rules, nothing. It's either pick up a card, play a card, buy a card, or reset your hand. And it's really that simple.
Yeah, it really is. With the rules pamphlet.
Yeah, 1-page rules pamphlet, and everybody just goes. And it's one that my mom actually started teaching other people. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been one of those games that really just hit right, especially for my family. So.
Oh gosh, yeah, and that was what, number 34 on mine. So yeah.
So,
wow.
Didn't make my top 100, unfortunately.
Yep. So that's my number 17, Century Golem Edition.
My number 17 is the second highest new game on my list, although it shouldn't be because I couldn't find it in my other list, although I've owned it and championed it for a long, long time. And you even brought this up early at the beginning of the podcast, Daniel. Istanbul. My number 17. My goodness. And to answer your question, Colt Cardboard, yes, Rio Grande Games is probably going to be on my list a lot this time around. Spoilers. But yeah, oh my gosh. Istanbul, I know that's not... I was just answering your question. That's not Rio Grande Games. What can you say? I have now just a real big respect for a game that feels like something you're used to, but all of the mechanisms are just totally different, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel Istanbul does that. It's a comfortable, it's a worker placement, kind of. It's resource management, kind of. You're trying
pick
to
up
get
and
points.
deliver.
Not really. You're trying to race to get those gems, right?
Yeah.
I just love it when games do that, and that's a prime example of it. Istanbul is just so unique. So much to the point that...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's so unique to the point that we did a whole board game breakdown or a brainstorm of this, and it took us forever to come up with the game suggestions.
This is a Rudiger Dorn game, and this one put him on the map for me. I will check out almost any game he comes up with, because they all have those weird, unique twists to it, and I appreciate that. So, Istanbul, number 17.
This is one I actually need to get for my collection.
Yeah, you do.
It's fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, no, I just picked this up, and I'm waiting to play this again.
Yeah.
Because when we played it at your house, I was like, this is...
It's so quick, it's so simple, but yet it's so satisfying.
Yep.
You feel really clever when you do that path really well.
So my number 16 has been mentioned, I think, on 2 of your lists. And I have made every single one of you aboard now.
I know what this one is.
Tumbling Dice. Although the sad thing is, I have to fix mine because I don't know where it was sitting at, but I went to go look at it, and 2 of the pegs are busted off, so I have to put in new pegs. But this is definitely, if you've not tried a Tumbling Dice, you really need to try picking it up. Eagle Griffin owns the rights to this one right now. Or you could try making it. I found mine online, and I make it for people for Christmas, and just it's so much fun. I could play this. When my son was 4, he was the master at this game and would just kick our asses and would always land on the 6 in the 4 times and would just destroy everybody. And some of the other people I made with, they've even tried putting rubber bands in between the pegs to give it some trick shot type things, and it changes every round. there's a lot of things you can do with this. I've even seen some people where they've taken like Dungeons and Dragon dice, so you'll get a full set of Dungeons and Dragon dice, and you throw them down. So like, if your D20 makes it on that ×4 on a 20, it's just ridiculous points. So there's a lot you can do with just this game right here alone, and it really is just let's grab a beer, let's just have some friends over, and you just play it all night without anybody complaining.
Yeah, I really do enjoy that aspect. Like you were going to say, that D20 or the Dungeons and Dragon dice one sounds actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it does. I actually played this just a week and a half ago.
That's what the Dice Tower does. Like, if you've ever looked at one of the Dice Tower's photos of them playing with it,
yeah,
each person literally has, I think they might have like 4 D6s, and then they have a D4, a D20, a D12. And so it's like the more rounded dice. So then that way, like, it just causes more mayhem when those bigger, thicker dice just go down the way.
What we need to do is get that app that scores things up for you when you're using that. Just like, I'll take a picture here. This is how it's supposed to be.
That's the only thing that gets me is like, dude, trying to calculate all that out. And I'm like, I have a hard enough time doing it with D6s, let alone...
I don't have that many fingers and toes. All right, my number 16 is the last new one to the list through the entire top 100. But it is the one of my favorite new games that came out relatively recently. We saw a janky version of this at the Gamma Expo last year, and this just goes down so well to most of the people I show it to. I really do enjoy it. I didn't even play the janky version at the Gamma Expo. I ate lunch while you played the janky version of this game.
It's this high.
This one?
Yeah.
No, really?
Oh, I know exactly what one he was talking about. Started.
Wow.
The game is The Gang. It is cooperative deductive poker. Texas Hold'em at that. So it does really well. I remember playing poker a lot when I was back in college. Back in those days, and it was really fun, and I still do enjoy the concept of poker. I'm just not a gambler. So when they said, hey, we're doing this, and we're trying to see how you guys can work together to get the best hand, and you get the most treasure. You got to get 4 treasure before you set off the 4 sirens or something like that. And I really dig it. My wife enjoys it. My other game group enjoys it. You and me have had a blast playing this game. And I have to say, a lot of the games that I've been busting out lately are like these small little card games. So I'm not surprised that this came up because I've been really enjoying these small footprint card games. And so The Gang is my number 16.
Wow. I'm genuinely surprised by that.
I'm genuinely surprised by that too. Huh?
Next time I'm over, show me. I don't think I've heard that one.
He missed it.
Yeah, you missed it that night.
I know I probably missed it.
That was the best game of the night. It was right after you left, and so much.
It's cooperative deductive poker.
You had to leave early, or we were really pushing it.
No, I forget when we played it. I think it was just us 3.
It was just us 3. I think it was
like, we got 30 minutes. Let's play The Gang 3 times, or something like that.
Yeah, because we played it without the rules, and then or without the special stuff, and then we played it with all the special stuff, and it was really fun.
Yep.
Your number 16?
Yep. All right. My number 16 is a game. It's a relatively older game that has been remade. And it has a really, really awesome component.
Is this Return?
It is.
Okay.
It is Return to Dark Tower.
Okay. Yeah.
So, finally got to play it again last year, and it just reminded me of how much I really like the plays I've had of Return to Dark Tower. It was... I'm a sucker for cooperative games, but this one, just the way the tower works...
It's a whole presentation.
It is the whole presentation. It's the whole thing. You got to go out and you got to balance doing your main quest with all the side quests and getting the stuff that you need to be able to finish that main quest. And you got to hope the tower doesn't get you before it. I mean... The times I've played, it's always come down to like the last couple of turns. The first time we played, it literally came down to the last turn, and we lost because we needed one more turn, one more person to go, and the tower was like, nope, not happening. So, and then the last time we played last year, we actually got it done fairly quickly. So it's really interesting, that variability in the game.
I'm trying to remember Gamehead. You already had this on your list too, no?
That's what I was trying to look at. I thought I had said Return to Dark Tower, but I don't see it.
Because I know it's not on his because he doesn't own it.
Right. That's correct.
All right, you're number 16. Number 2.
My number 16 last year was number 89, and the previous time was number 16 for some reason. And so it just had this weird waiver. But this is the highest ranked party game that I have on my list, and this is the only game that I can proudly say that got my father-in-law to do the Ace Ventura butt-talking thing, and I've never seen that in any other experience. I don't think I want to, but, like, still, the fact that it happened was absolutely hilarious. This is Time's Up.
I was going to say.
This game has the craziest reactions, the weirdest shenanigans that happens in there. Like, when we saw that they were doing a Time's Up Family Edition, we were excited. 'Cause it's like, yeah, this is a great components, it's a great game, all that stuff, but Title Recall just hits every single time I play it.
Yeah, my Time's Up is right there, just because I can't see it anywhere. Yeah. I got a cube over
you
here.
have the goofy box.
I have the cube, yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, I have the original, the just 2-piece box that overlays rectangular, and I have every expansion, every version of it, all the cards just split in there. So it's a brick. You can hit people over it and take them out.
I will say the family edition, if people want to pick it up, you can always get like the expansions and throw it in there if you want to use that. I say the family edition is like the quintessential edition because they have the score pad in the back of the book with a dry erase marker.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, Time's Up, Title Recall, my number 16.
Well, my number 15, when I got it was a second printing, and when it got reprinted again, got turned into a Harry Potter game. This is Cash and Guns. This game gets played all the time, and for the second edition, I have gone to tournaments, so I get the specialty guns that they came out with. Like, I have the giant Cthulhu little miniature, or not miniature, but like cardboard cutout.
Yep.
So I really like this. I didn't like it so much, but I mean the Harry Potter theme works, but it is at that point a team-based game, and I didn't like the team-based version of it as much as I like this just straight up everybody for themselves. And we even do something a little bit different too, because when we play the game, usually you're supposed to flip the desk. If you've played it before, there's a desk. Whoever's the boss gets the desk when you flip it. We do where everybody gets, whoever's in the fight has 3 cards. There's 2 clicks and a bang, and so then it's like a shootout between the boss and somebody else, just to give it a little bit more thematic feel. But like I said, the Cash and Guns is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. I did enjoy the Harry Potter version of it as well, because you and me were forced to team up together and we dominated.
We did. I felt bad because like we were kicking butt on that one too, and I was like, it does make for a good game. It just, when I play Cash and Guns, what I liked about it was just like it was everybody for themselves. And there's player elimination.
Yeah.
And then the Harry Potter one, it was literally like the last expansion they did for Cash and Guns. Like, oh, let's make this Harry Potter, which is cool because it comes with plastic wands, which I made wood wands and gave to everybody. But I mean, it's still a great game, and I love the fact that when you put your points in, they go into like your house cup kind of thing. So that's kind of cool too.
All right, moving on to my number 15. This is a Dammit Dom game. It entered the top 100 at 90, climbed to number 20, and is now sitting at 15. And I think it's just because of how it's. Other people have talked about it compared to another version of this. Is how easy it is to set up and tear down, and basically you can buy whatever you want and then play it. This is an LCG. I believe Dammit Dom had it on his list. This is Marvel Champions. Yep. And again, it's just because it's smart card play, and it's much simpler and easier to clean up than Arkham Horror LCG. Because the way you have to set that up, you have this going on, then you have to set up the deck, and then you have to set up all the different little things that are going into that specific deck, and then shuffle that all up. And the teardown is a lot harder. And so, like, in the Marvel version, it's not as complicated, because it's like, you need this, you need this, you need this. That's all you need. These are the 3 decks you're going to be using for this bad guy. That's it. And if you're playing the campaign version of it, you do the same thing. And that's another reason why I like this one a little bit more. Because I can play it either as a one-shot, or I can go into the campaign, whereas the Arkham Horror LCG is straight up a campaign series where you're going through different cycles. And that's why it still sits higher and higher on my list because of the one-shot capabilities. A lot of times you and me, when it's just the two of us, we're either going to play Marvel United, we play Marvel Champions, and try the new characters that we haven't tried yet. And we just put Rhino, we get all his stuff that we need to get played, and then use the new characters that we've done. And we've done multiple games through this. All right, let's just shuffle Rhino back up and let's try this character now. So yeah, it really goes down well. Marvel's Champions, the card game.
I feel like I need to play this more. I own it, and you've given me some of the little expansions. There's just something I can't wrap my head around when we play it. Every time we play it, I always feel like you guys are playing my cards because I don't understand what's going on. I just need to sit down and
play it solo. Yeah, do a one shot with the
Mm.
solo. Just play Rhino. He's the easiest one, and just use your characters.
And that's what I got to do. I have not pulled that trigger yet to do it.
And if you do, it'll climb high on your list.
Yeah. Well, and hide in your pocketbook.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 15 is another new one to the list. It came out last year. It is definitely a Dammit Dom game.
You can't damn it Dom yourself.
No, this is Dammit Dom for somebody else sitting right here.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what this one is.
Because they just did another Game Found on it.
Oh, no.
So it's got little robots in it, and it's simultaneous play. This is Raising Robots. You choose your two actions, how much power is out there on those actions. Everybody gets to do any action that people choose. It's got the follow mechanism, and you just go through, you do it, you run your engine, and basically at the end of the game, it's whoever has the most points wins. But as Daniel said, there's all little winks and nods throughout the whole thing. Like, oh, that robot there, it's really close to Johnny Five.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a little throwback there for everybody. Things like that. Oh, that inventor is really close to this game designer. So yeah, no, it's one of those games that looked at and was like, okay, I like engine building. I'll check it out. And yeah, it turned out to be one of those great decisions I made. So this is Raising Robots.
My number 15 is the highest brand new game on my list. Highest one. Everything else has been on my list previously. That's because it barely came out 2 years ago. And it won the Spiel des Jahres that year. 2 players, cooperative, dice placement,
Do we
scenario
this
driven.
at Gamma?
You and I happen to play a Gamma. And I remember that play.
Screw you. We played it on the plane.
We played the styrofoam cutout version. And what I really remember liking about it is...
So for those who don't know, it's Sky Team.
Yeah, Sky Team. When we played it, I remember us playing it. It's like, okay, that's cool, and we beat it, and we're like, that's fun. And we both just looked like, I don't know how much staying power this has, right? And then the guy was like, oh yeah, there's 20-something scenarios. It's like, what? And so ever since I played it, me and my son, we've already beaten probably about 12 of them. Oh, this game just keeps getting played and played and played. Each of the modules just work differently in really interesting ways, whether it's like a fuel leak or just having to maneuver around terrain in different ways, to having an intern that you have to train on the job somehow, and you can't make them get you coffee, sadly. It's really silly. I absolutely adore it. That is Sky Team 2023. Oh, my number 15.
I missed that. Okay, hold on. Your number 14.
This was actually the second game I ever played, or second worker placement game I ever played. And this is actually a Daniel game that got me to buy this. And I wish I would have gotten and done some of the other stuff with it, got the big box, which I can get now. I haven't pulled the trigger, but it's Viticulture, and this is the Essentials Edition from Stonemaier Games. just overall, the components in this thing were amazing. The going like from your winter side to the summer side, or excuse me, spring side to winter side, and then when you added in the mamas and the papas, and you had 4 sections to go, and that you could literally just take all your workers and just throw them all in the first 2 sections and not be able to do anything afterwards, like just. But that's what you needed to do, so the next round you could like just grow your grapes like crazy. It's an amazing game, and I really do want to play. What is it? The
co-op version.
The co-op version for
World.
it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I own it. I just have not played it yet. But that is my number 14. That is Viticulture, which I think was already on Daniel's, wasn't it?
No, it was on my list.
Yeah, Dom's okay.
Spoiler alert, you're not going to hear it today. My number 14 here entered the list last time when we did this at number 8. So it was a high new game. It dropped to 14, and it's lack of play. I'm finally starting to get more into it. And it goes along the lines with the Marvel Champions versus the Arkham Horror. I wish I could play this more as one-shots than just trying to do the whole campaign. But it has some of the best components I ever had. And great storytelling. This is Acrylic Minis game called Vagrant Song. It is straight up a boss battler. I've been hearing that described. You're basically trying to knock the humanity back into the haint and make him remember his humanity. And it is a fantastic game. I've been playing it. We're going into the 4th scenario recently, so I'm playing it a little bit more. It might climb back into the top 10. But as of right now, 14 is not a bad spot. It only dropped a few spots, and so I really adore this game. I just got an expansion, so I'm looking forward to getting more gameplays of this Vagrant Song.
So my number 14 is a game that I ended up making a couple of guys go out and get.
You'll notice this. I think you just ranked your games by how many purchases you made from it. That's what you've done.
No. So unfortunately, this one is going to be harder to find here.
Relatively, they bought them all.
Relatively quickly. No, it's because of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Honey Buzz. So this is a game that I've played a ton of. It's worker placement, but it's also action selection. So you use your workers to gain a tile, which the tile then informs your actions. And depending on how you build your honeycomb, depends on what type of honey you can get and what types of actions you can do. So it's a multifaceted game, but it is one of those games that like it just clicked for me. It's got all the stuff I like: worker placement. It's got action selection with a board, tile laying. So yeah, it was just one of those games that when I first saw it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to back this because this just seems interesting. And it turned out to be one of those games that was like, okay, this is really, really good. And I still haven't gotten to play with the new stuff yet, but I did get all my new stuff in. So hopefully get it back to the table here again soon. And that is Honey Buzz.
Yeah, I don't think it made my top 100, and I think it's just because I haven't played in a while. A long while.
Yeah, same here. I've never played it.
No.
You wouldn't even put it on your list because you don't own it.
I still have never played it, so...
I can bring it back out in.
You know why I need to play this? Because...
Yes.
Games.
Games. Alright, my number 14 is a game that I really doubt is on anybody else's list, because I seem to be the only one who likes abstract strategies in this group, which is okay by me. I mean, I know you guys don't hate them, but I really love abstract strategies. This was number 19 before, and number 17 before that. Still high up on my list. This is Yinch, one of the GIF series games.
Is this the one with the cookies and cream pieces?
They all kind of do that, but so this one has the Othello pieces that have white on one side and black on the other.
Yeah,
and you have a ring. You have 5 rings that are out on the board, and you can move, on your turn, you just take one of your pieces, put it in your color, and put it in one of the rings. Yep, GameheadGeek is describing it perfectly with that yawn. And you shoot that ring in a straight line, and any disc that the ring crosses flip over to the opposite side, no matter whose color it is. If you get 5 in a row of yours, then you score them off, and you take one of your rings and score them on the side. So it has a brilliant catch-up mechanism that I have not seen in any other abstract strategies. Because you start with 5, you have to get down to 2 just to win. It's absolutely brilliant. This is probably the best in the line, or one of the best, if not the best. Yeah, it's the best in the line. As far as this ranking goes, I love it. Yinch. Real game.
I think the only one that will have an abstract strategy game, maybe Dammit Dom as well, but I think GameheadGeek could probably have it, but I don't know where it's going to land. I know one that he really adores.
I mean, like, yeah, I have abstract games, but like 2-player abstract strategy games like that, I think I'm probably the only one who would put one on my list.
What game are you thinking of?
It's an Arcane Wonders game.
Mm-hmm. I know which one you're thinking of.
Same.
No, really.
Well, we all know what game you should be thinking of.
You're the one that loves that one so much. It is a Dice Tower Essential.
I like it too, don't worry, but it's not my top 100.
Should I just say the name? It looks like I see smoke.
Yeah, just say it.
Onitama.
Huh?
Onitama.
Oh. That didn't make it very high on my list. It doesn't get played anymore that much.
Yeah, I sold my copy just because, again, Danny says it. I hate 2-player games, apparently.
Right? You do. He does. It's true.
Somehow I get you to buy 2-player games every once in a while.
Yeah.
My number 13 is a game that I bought when I first came into this hobby, and the fact that you could take 2 factions and mash them up and try to take over bases. I have a feeling this will probably go down further since this is the first time I actually ranked all my games, but it is Smash Up. And I have everything for this. I even have like the original Big Geeky box, not the one that you have.
No, I have the Big Geeky box, the original. I don't have that new big one from...
no, but Danny has the new one. So
Me?
Danny doesn't own this game.
I don't own any Smash Up at all.
No?
Nope.
I could have swore that one of you guys bought the box and was like, I don't like this, because it was the same box that they used for...
No, I looked at the box. I looked at the box and I'm like, no, I'll stick with my long box because I still have room in there for extra expansions.
Who would it be then? Maybe Triune.
Maybe Triune.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've never owned it.
Triune.
Yeah.
But, like I said, and now that the fact that they have Marvel and they have Disney in there, even going into where you could take like the dividers were then actual like super monsters that you could put in.
Mm-hmm. Big in Japan.
This is a game I even made. I think you might, or someone might still have. Do you still have them? I had made like foam core deals where you could like tally the points.
Yeah. I have them. Yeah, I still have them.
So
I have one of them for some reason.
Probably. I could have swore you had Smash Up at one point.
He's never owned it because he actively dislikes this game.
This is my least favorite Paul Peterson game.
All right, my number 13, I believe was already mentioned in a past, I think in the 20s, if I remember correctly. Could have been in the 30s by Dammit Dom over here. This is kind of a Dammit Dom game. He's the first person that ever brought it to the thing. It originally only entered the list 2 years ago at 86. It fell off the list last year and is roaring back onto the list. Last time we did this, it was 127, so it just missed. It went from 86 to 127. Now it is 13, and it's just because I've been playing it a lot more. I now own versions of, or a copy of it. I just backed it for its giant ass Godzilla. This is Cthulhu Death May Die. Rob Davio, Eric Lang, I enjoy every minute of it. I like the fact that we made you Rasputin when it comes to dice chucking games because you always die in dice chucking games. I'm like, you get one free death.
And I don't think I used it.
No.
Like, I think I, absolutely, destroyed everything and didn't use it once.
Yeah, we should have gave it to GameheadGeek because he kept going insane over there.
Yeah, that was...
This is your number 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really do enjoy it. I love everything about this one. I could see it even climbing higher just because with the stuff that I have and the fact that it could give me that Cthulhu feel. but it's a plug and play, so I don't have to worry about a campaign. I could just be like, I don't want to fight Cthulhu, but I want to do chapter 1 again, so let me fight this boss, or let me do this one. And if you get the big Cthulhu and the big Godzilla, there is a way that you can pick sides and choose Godzilla over Cthulhu or vice versa. So that looks really interesting. Looking forward to that. But for me, this is the best Cthulhu game. And as I mentioned earlier, the modularity of this game is fantastic and through the roof. And the minis are fun to look at, in all honesty. Simon really knocks it out of the park with those miniatures. So Cthulhu Death May Die at 13.
Yep, it was my number 47. Alright, so my number 13 is a game that some around here would say is overproduced. No, actually, it's this guy over here that says it's overproduced.
Oh.
I mean, I don't disagree.
I'm trying to think what game it is now, because a lot of the games you like is overproduced.
You bought the cheap version. We'll just put that into it.
Yeah.
You're ranking. So you're ranking these by weight.
Oh, is that not what we're supposed to do?
I know which one you're talking about now.
So this is an Ace Tower Essential. This is Foundations of Rome.
Metropolis.
Rome. The game is a simple game. You're getting plots. You're building buildings on those plots. You're trying to just produce points with those. It's the way the game works. So it's so smooth. It works. It's an Emerson Matsuchi, so it works really well. It's very.
It's very streamlined.
Yeah, it's a very streamlined game. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And it doesn't matter what direction you go with your buildings. There's always a way to win with each type of building. You don't have to just go with one set of buildings and go, everybody's got to go this way if you want a chance to win. All the buildings, because of how they work and how they play off everybody else's buildings, it gives you a chance to produce points, and then you're always in the game. I don't think we've had a game that's been less than 10 points. It's usually around between.
Hey, both times I played it, I won, so I'm happy.
Yeah, but it was a close game. It was never
right.
Blowout.
It was never a blowout, exactly. So, yeah, that's my number 13.
In my defense, when I said when I looked at him when you talked about overproduced, he has said the exact same thing.
Well, it's very overproduced.
Yeah. For as simple as this game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is much more produced than Cthulhu Death May Die, and that's what you expect from that game.
It's almost so overproduced you could practically live in those houses.
At least the boxes that they come in.
Right? I want to be buried in that cardboard box. Oh my god. My number 13 is probably one of the first games I ever taught most of you guys. Like, this is one of the first games that I remember us showing off at the shop when we all first met. I showed this game. Yep. GameheadGeek.
Did you mess up when you taught us, though?
No. Actually, no. Yeah, that's not on my list right now. Nope. I did not. This is a cooperative game, no less.
Oh, okay. Is it the legacy version or the original?
Neither.
No.
It's neither that version.
What other co-op have you showed that was like one of the first ones that you showed?
The Friends of the Podcast recently just came out with a cooperative card game.
Is this the castles where you're rolling the rocks and
giant boulders and orcs?
Yeah, they just came out with a big version of this.
Yes,
With there being a lot of panic in it.
Oh yeah, it's a very frightening game. Castle Panic. It climbed up from number.
This is not one of the first games you've ever showed me.
I feel like this is one of the oldest ones I've ever taught.
Yes, but it's not one of the first ones you ever showed me.
Really? Okay.
Nope.
I learned Arkham Horror, Eldritch Horror, Pandemic, and I can't remember what the other co-op was before
I've never taught you Eldritch Horror.
Yeah, but someone brought it to the shop.
No.
Oh, sure. Okay. I was about to say, like, this is one of the first ones I taught you. It wasn't... I never taught you Eldritch Horror. But yeah, Castle Panic.
The first game you taught us, though, was King of Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, King of Tokyo. That was the first game. Oh, no. It wasn't King of Tokyo.
Was it Munchkin?
No, the first game you ever taught us was...
Forbidden Island?
Forbidden Island.
Waters Rise.
Waters Rise.
Waters Rise? What?
Set up 2 water rises.
It is what it is. Castle Panic. I really like cooperative games. This is a cooperative tower defense game, and it's one of the ones that's just so old in my collection, and I've always enjoyed it. And yeah, the new fancy version, like, I don't go all out to buy fancy versions of games, but this one was different. I got the second fanciest version of the game.
You got all the wood, right?
I got the wood version, yes, and it has minis for some of the stuff, like the towers, the walls, all that stuff, and yeah, I adore it, and because I've been playing that fancy version, it just gets better and better. So yeah, Cosmetic number 13.
Plus, Fireside Games, they're fantastic people.
They're fantastic people.
Yes,
Buy
sir.
everything they've ever made ever.
So some of us have the fanciest version of it.
Two of you. I have.
Yeah, but I like
I'm
it more.
I am the basic one with this game.
True.
So I don't have the fancy version. I just have the version that's no longer in print.
Yep.
Oh, okay. You didn't back the fancy Kickstarter?
I didn't because I didn't want to get rid of my Star Trek pennant because I
Ah.
love Star Trek. I love that. I thought that was the best version. With it being Star Trek, I was like, it fits perfectly.
See, I don't disagree because that was my number 50, right? But this version of it, I consider, with the new expansions, what they did with it is just awesome. The Dark Titan expansion is fun.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, it's one of those. I would definitely love to try the wood one and then the one that Dom has.
Yep.
On this.
All right, moving on to our number 12s.
Number 12. So this is as close to on point same number crossover because technically it was one whole rotation, but mine is Cthulhu Death May Die. And technically, this wasn't it might have been a Dammit Dom game, but we both bought it at the same time. I know that because we were like, did you do the Kickstarter? Yes. Did you do the Cthulhu? No, I couldn't afford that one.
No, I know it's a Dammit Dom because he showed it at the shop. That's the first time I played it was at the shop.
Okay. So, but, I mean, everything that you said, it's probably not the best Cthulhu game out there. I'm just throwing that one out there, but it is definitely a great game where you just want a dice chucker and go, like, as they said when they were selling this, go take a gun and shoot Cthulhu in the face. This is it. Like, let's just go all out and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, but see, that's
And
why I think is the best Cthulhu game because it's all about the fun, not about the, the overcomplicated sometimes some of these other Cthulhu games are.
Yep.
All right, my number 12 has been on my list all 3 times, and it's kind of climbing back. It was originally entered the list when we first did this list at number 2.
Ooh.
And it dropped to 17. Now it climbed back a few more spots, and it's just because I appreciate this version of it more, but I like the whole system in general. And this is Horrified. I really do dig this game a lot. And I have everything for it, and kind of pay attention to April when we're doing our championship edition stuff like that. We might be doing a little something for people. But Horrified is still one of my favorite. Again, like I said, I have all 4 versions. They just announced a newish version coming out here soon with the Dungeons & Dragons license on it, which looks really good. But what I really want for this, and I think would do well, is a legacy version or a campaign version of this. I don't care what license you put on it, but just give me a legacy and stuff like that. I think this would do really good in that aspect. Horrified.
All right, so my number 12 is actually it's either the second or third oldest board game I own.
Monopoly?
No, that I bought. No, that I actually bought. It was like second or third purchase when I started buying board games.
Good boy.
When I started buying board games seriously, let's put it that way.
Okay.
This is one that always goes over well. Again, another one that works well with my family. It's a worker placement game. It helped a lot of role.
Second oldest in your collection or second oldest
No, I know which one it is because we just talked about the license going to Horrified.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Got a lot of role players into board games, and that is
true. Okay.
Lords of Waterdeep.
All right.
So, it's simple worker placement. You get your resources, send your people out on quests, score points. It's really that simple, but it's also one of those things of like,
I need to play this more.
When do I go to this spot? Because I need this, but I really need this other thing, and will it sit around one more round? Or is somebody, like Bryce, going to sit down and go, nope, I'm going here.
Yep. Every time. Every time.
I really need to play this again. I wasn't enamored with it the first time I played it. This is a game that really deserves an Awaken Realms bling out.
If it could get a bling out, it would be awesome.
Yeah. I think I've only played it once, and I agree with you. I think it does need to come back and do like a big.
Like it's a fine game. I just wasn't enamored with it. I think part of the problem was the teach with it too.
So I mean,
not you.
The other thing too is
I've never owned this game, so
the mandatory quests. Personally, I don't have a problem with them. Because they can slow you down, but it keeps a runaway leader problem from happening if you're using them right.
Not you.
So, but that is my number 12, Lords of Waterdeep.
Alrighty, my number 12. Talking about classic games, because I would say that Lords of Waterdeep is definitely a classic. This is yet another one. It just hit its 21st anniversary this year. Ticket to Ride.
God dang, I forgot it was 21.
Spiel des Jahres winner in 2004. And yeah. Well, I don't have much more to say about it.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this podcast, you probably know what Ticket to Ride is. But yeah, Ticket to Ride, it was previously 7 and then 13 before that, so it bounced around a little bit. But yeah, just outside of my top 10. And yeah, it's surprising to say the least, but...
Have you got the 20-year anniversary trains yet?
No, I thought... See, I have the 10th anniversary.
Well, that's why I was asking if you got the 20-year ones as well.
You're still mad about your 10th anniversary, though, that you had to go buy a whole base set again.
Yeah. Which is a whole bunch of...
Nonsense? I know.
You know, they didn't have to make the trains bigger than the base set maps, is all I'm saying. They should have remade the maps as a bigger size. Jumbo edition, I guess. But oh well. C'est la vie. Number 12.
This is my 33, so this is a crossover between me and you.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, moving on to our
One
number
of the few.
Number 11s.
So my number 11 is my second highest new to me game, and I have not played it with you guys. Again, it's something I want to bring over, or maybe a game day if we have another game day anytime soon. I don't know. As sad as this sounds, it's a great game, and I love it. But it might go away once the newer version comes out. But this is Too Many Bones. As bad as that sounds, like it's new to me, and I would say that it would probably drop, only because after playing it and seeing Skyrim stuff coming out, which I should be getting here soon, they've almost seemed like kind of the same game a little bit with some things that they fixed. But just playing this thing solo is amazing. It is a chip theory game that, their quality is amazing. The chips are awesome. And the fact is you're kind of playing, like, depending on how long you want to play, you could play what's like called a 6-day campaign, a 10-day campaign, and then I think it goes up to like 17 days or something like that. And so every day you go and fight a select set of monsters, and you're trying to get to the boss of whatever that might be. And so it's a lot of fun. And the fact that just the characters that I have, as you try to build those characters up, and they all play extremely differently. They have their own card of information that you need to read and look over before you start to play, just so you know how to play the character. Again, that's why I want to play this maybe on a game day and not like one of our night get-togethers, because I just don't know if we would have enough time to do the teach and play. But that is my number 11, is Too Many Bones. And like I said, it might go down lower on the list. I don't think it'll go too much lower, just because I think when Skyrim comes out, I'm pretty sure that's going to get up pretty high for me.
I don't see anything wrong with that. That makes sense. Skyrim's awesome.
All right, my number 11 was I actually told a little white lie earlier because I misread. This is the highest, newest game to my list here. And it's one that you guys showed me because you got to see one of the best teaches of this at the Gamma Expo.
Wow.
I love everything about this game. In fact, it unseated Terraforming Mars. It's higher than Ark Nova. everything about this game I love so
It's
much
so
because you're integrated into everybody's turn. So you want to pay attention.
Yep.
Oh, you're doing that action? Okay, I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this, and I can trigger this. And this is Earth. I love this engine builder. I think it plays really well. I'm looking forward to the fantastic expansion that's coming out. I got more upgraded bits for this game because of that expansion. You know, get rid of the adult sex toys out of the thing.
We're a family-friendly show, sir.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, those were family-friendly pieces.
Those were not family-friendly pieces. So I'll get some nicer pieces with this game.
What he means is that you don't want to leave them around like a family and step on them. It'll hurt really badly.
And I love the smart action selection of this game because it's like, I'm going to do this. I get to take a great action of this, but everybody else has this fun little aspect, and now everybody gets to trigger all their yellow power cards because that's the action I took. It's fantastic. I love everything about it. This is Earth.
So my number 11's already been on somebody else's list. It is a worker placement game. Yep, that's whose list it's been on, and this is actually for both of them. This is Almanac the Dragon Road or the Crystal Peaks. You can take either one. They're both great. You can combine them together. It's even better. So, Almanac the Dragon Road.
Cool game.
Yeah, you get a book, and you just basically every map is different, and you're going through. You're doing 6 different maps. The only thing that's the same is the starting map, and then after that, it's just whoever wins the bid chooses, and you go at the end of it. Whoever's the best merchant wins the game, basically. Because you can win the game by doing a bunch of different things, whether it's selling stuff, whether it's buying stuff, whether it's it's one of those games that for me it works really well. And then the fact that the worker placement is different every map, and it just simply tells you, hey, this is what you do. This time, your workers can't be in a line. This time, you can go far down this track as you want, but you can't go backwards. So wherever your last worker is, you have to go beyond that. So it's just one of those fun games that, for me, works really well, and that's Almanac the Dragon Road.
I feel like the past 10, we haven't had too many surprises. Most of the stuff is this. This is the biggest surprise on my list. This was previously number 4. And on the last time we did it prior to that was number 3. This dropped out of my top 10 and is now my current highest Stefan Feld game.
Really?
Castles of Burgundy is number 11.
Wow.
Yeah, got kicked out. Because it's just these top 10, I can't argue with it. They just hit that much more. I play them that much more. You're going to have to wait till next episode to see that, but not my number 11. I'm a little almost saddened in a way, like a little surreal, but yeah, I mean...
He was the champion of this for so long.
And I mean, number 11 is still really good, but that's how...
Someone already had it on the list, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
This is the first game I ever played with you.
Yeah.
I remember this is how I got introduced to Rado, because you sent it into the group chat. Hey guys, this is the game I'm teaching this week. Learn it from here.
Yeah, I still adore this game, but I have 10 more that apparently I like better. What can I say? Castle of Burgundy. So with that being said, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you ever want to contact us directly, whether that's to enter in future contests, give us ideas for future episodes, or even just to say hello, email us at everydayboardgames2020@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on Instagram.com/everydayboardgames, where we post silly videos, pictures, or what we've been playing lately.
As well as all video re-uploads and reviews are found on youtube.com at everydayboardgames. And if you like what we do, there are 3 things you can do to help us grow on the platform. Subscribe if you're not, like the video, and comment down below and tell us your thoughts on the subject.
We also stream our episodes live at twitch.tv/everydayboardgames. Join us in, like our friends Colt Cardboard, who are joining us today, and Creative Chaos just joined right at the end of this episode. Don't worry, we have one more coming up next. And anybody else who joined us in today's episode.
As well as all audio versions can be found on most podcast platforms under Everyday Board Games Podcast. This includes Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, and Apple.
So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I've been your host, Daniel.
And I've been your host, Daniel.
I'm Dammit Dom.
I'm GameheadGeek.
And we want to thank you for listening to Everyday Board Games.
And remember, every day is a good day for board gaming.